What do you do for a living? If you're still answering that as, I'm a physical therapist, then this is the video for you. Because once you figure out what business you're in, you become more valuable. Once you become more valuable, you can maximize your income because you understand the value that you bring to your ideal customer, patient, or client. That clarity alone will give you a blueprint to helping you maximize your income as a physical therapist. Let's dive right in. So again, what business are you in, right? I'll give you a little hint. It's not physical therapy. Do you know what business you're in? I want you to ask yourself that right now. And again, if you said you're in the business of physical therapy, let me tell you, you're missing out on income, potential professional growth, and even clinical mastery. Let's dive into why that's the case and what you can do to figure out what business you're in. So what do you say when people ask you what you do? Again, if you're saying I'm a physical therapist, then what you're basically doing is letting that person's perception of what they think a physical therapist does dictate how they think of you and what you can do for them. Do you see where there's a problem there, right? If they had a bad experiences at a physical therapy place before or with a particular physical therapist, now that's what they think of you. That's the first thing in their minds. More importantly, you're not giving them any confidence over whatever fears they might have about entering business with you or becoming, part of your patient caseload, right? So what happens is, instead of thinking about what your job title is, I want you to think about what is the outcome that you can provide for your ideal client. So you can start to attract those type of clients to your business. Now, this is whether you're an employee or a clinical director, doesn't matter, or even an owner. You want to think about all these things so that once you figure out that part, you can start to get the type of clients and opportunities that you're looking for. So I want you to think about this first. Think about what you're passionate about. Then think about what you're an expert in, and then why you do what you do. Let's take an example, okay? Let's say you're passionate about manual therapy. Ask yourself, why are you passionate about manual therapy? What is it about manual therapy that you're so fired up about? And then how are you an expert? Are you taking courses? Have you taken an orthopedic manual therapy program? Have you taken a fellowship? Do you have a mentor that's teaching you? Are you just getting tons of experience and then you're studying on your own, whether it's online, in person, a combination? What is it that makes you an expert? Because you're gonna have to communicate that and then demonstrate it. And then why is it you do what you do with that? Why do you do manual therapy? What is it about manual therapy that makes you want to do it? But then ask yourself, what is the outcome of manual therapy for your client and their particular needs? Okay, so think of that ideal client and ask yourself, what is it about manual therapy that fixes or meets their needs? And then how do you communicate that to them? Because once you figure that out, then you start to give them some type of certainty, understanding you're the expert in manual therapy, you're passionate about it, they can tell because you can demonstrate that, and then why it's going to help their particular need. So again, understand you provide value. Okay, this is so important. You provide value by meeting your ideal client's wants/needs with your skill set. Okay, let me say that one more time. You provide value by meeting your ideal client's wants with your skills. So ask yourself, how do you communicate that expertise to meet your ideal needs and wants, ideal clients' needs and wants? How are you saying that? How are you demonstrating that expertise? Well, if you're not actively listening to their needs and wants first, then you're already making assumptions, okay? If you can listen to their needs and wants, they've already done the homework for you. You can meet their needs now with your skill set by just listening to them. Remember, sales is just giving your clients fears some type of certainty. Okay, let me say that one more time. Sales is giving your clients fears some type of certainty. Okay, if you don't think, by the way, that you're in sales as a physical therapist, you do not understand the business you're in. And I'll say that again, you do not understand the business you're in. We are in a service-based industry. We provide value to clients, okay? And by the way, we can provide value well beyond what we do in the clinic. And I'll go into an example briefly here, but if you don't understand that you're a salesperson, I want you to start to shift that mindset, okay? Sales might have a negative connotation in your head. It shouldn't, okay? Every time you go to Starbucks, let's say, right? If you go to Starbucks, ask yourself, why do I keep going back to Starbucks? What is that giving me, right? If I like a certain restaurant, if I like, a certain type of car, whatever it may be, or certain shoe, what is it that is giving me certainty or an emotional connection or some type of, feeling? What is it that is doing that? Because that is sales, okay? The world runs on it, but we have to give value constantly at a very, very high level to our ideal client. And if we can figure that out, now you can start to have endless opportunities with that particular client that you're looking to see constantly, whether it's a patient, maybe it's another physical therapist, maybe you want to educate them. Maybe it's a strength and conditioning professional you want to educate. Maybe it is an athlete or a professional athlete. It doesn't matter. It all applies using the same principles here. So let me give you a little example, right? When someone asks me, what do you do? I'll say something along the lines of, I help people maximize their movement and athletic qualities to perform at the desired level of function. I might tweak that, obviously, depending on the particular person in front of me. But again, what is that saying, right? It's not saying I'm a physical therapist. It's saying I'm helping people maximize movement, athletic qualities, so that they can perform at their desired level of function, okay? That means that's the outcome, right? The outcome is improving athletic qualities and maximizing their movement so they hit their desired level of function. Desired is a great word for them, right? I might tweak it again to say if it's a professional athlete versus a high school athlete versus an active adult, because that's my ideal client and that's all I see. I don't see anybody else but my ideal client because I understand that. Now, how did I get there? Well, I wrote it out. I said, okay, what do I do, right? I rehab and eliminate existing injuries. I close the gap between injury and performance, okay? And I respond to a new injury and connect those people that call me about an injury maybe, or come into my clinic or come to see me to help them get connected to the best providers for their case. So if someone's calling me from afar, right, they're calling me because they trust me or because they're inquiring. Well, if I can add value to them before I even see them, even put my hands on them, even evaluate them by becoming a liaison and connecting them to a doctor for their ACL surgery, or to get them into an MRI place, or to connect them to a massage therapist or a different doctor or a different team, whatever it may be, now I'm more valuable. But more importantly, that is what I do. Okay, so what I do is all those things, and that's how I help people. All right, that's how I serve my ideal client. So start to think about that on your own. Now, how do you do it? Right? Well, how I do it, I provide a world-class experience by effectively getting to the root cause of my athletes' problems and create a roadmap for them to reach each milestone of their rehab, from initial injury all the way back to return to performance. Okay, that's how I do it. First was the what do you do? Now it's the how do you do it? All right. And again, how did I get there? Well, I educate my clients on each step of the program. I give them autonomy and I effectively communicate with each stakeholder in the process every week. I understand when my ideal client comes in, or when they call me, or when I see them, what I have to do, how I'm going to give world-class value. I know every stakeholder. I know I need to communicate with all of them. Whether, if let's say, for example, it's a professional athlete, I got to communicate with the professional athlete. I got to communicate with their doctor if there's a doctor in the case. I got to communicate with their agent if there's an agent in the case. I got to communicate with any significant other or friend, performance coach, massage therapist, another physical therapist that's working with them, whoever it may be. I need to close that loop. All right. That's how I become more valuable, because then I create that roadmap for them. Hey, this is what we're doing. Everyone's on the same page. Let's get there. Because I know that most people are not doing that. They're not doing that. And if they are, they're only doing it every once in a while. I do it every single time so that I make sure that I become so valuable that that is their experience with me now. That is what they remember now. They remember that experience and how it made them feel and what it provided for them outcome-wise. So I want you now to take a minute, all right, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, And I want you to write out the business you think you're in right now. Okay, wherever you are at, whatever type of role you're in, whether you're an employee, whether you're a clinical director, whether you're an owner, write out the business you think you're in right now. Then I want you to write out what business you're really in. Okay, because again, you might say, I'm in the business of helping maximize movement. What does that mean? Okay, so that people can reach whatever function they want to reach. Or, hey, I'm in the business of helping athletes get back to performance and get back to sport. What business are you really in then? Are you in the business of rehabbing them? Or are you in the business of strength conditioning? Are you in the business of performance? What are you doing, right? That doesn't mean anything to them. You need to give an outcome for every one of those. Maybe you're in both, or maybe you're in a different business and you need to be in the performance business, right? So again, all these things are starting to help you identify where you're at, where you need to be, okay? Because that last step is writing out the business you need to be in. Again, maybe you say, hey, I'm the return to performance expert. Well, if you're really the return to sport, return to performance expert, are you in the performance space? Do you have a performance person? Are you the performance person? And if you are you doing every step, or are you just doing that part? You need to understand that, right? Once you understand what business you're in, you become more valuable. Once you become more valuable, you can maximize your income because you understand the value you're bringing to that particular client that you're looking to work with. And those opportunities then can be grown. Those opportunities are endless because you know the steps you have to take then, because it's clear. There's a blueprint. So again, why is this important? Okay. Understanding what business you're in, like I said, gives you back that locus of control. Okay. Instead of just going through the day-to-day, hoping, wondering, wanting more opportunities, whether it's professional opportunities, whether it's income opportunities, or even whether it's clinical mastery opportunities, that clarity of understanding the business you're in gives you back that locus of control, because now you have a step-by-step blueprint to say, what do I need to do to improve my clinical skills for this population? What do I need to do to maximize my income by reaching that client population? And then finally, if I'm looking to add professional growth opportunities, maybe I want to do more community stuff, maybe I want to educate, maybe I want to do something within the area that I'm super passionate about. Now you have a better understanding of what you have to do. And the quicker you understand that, the quicker you understand how you give value, the sooner you become more valuable to your clients and or your business. That includes if you're an employee. If you understand that and you become that go-to person, now you're adding value to your clinic, your business, right? To your boss. And as a result of that, now you become more valuable and you are forced to get more income, basically, to get a salary bump, right? Because you're bringing that income basically back to the business. Once you become more valuable, you increase your ability to earn. So again, let's go back to this last time. Write this out. What business do you think you are in? Write out what business you're really in. And then finally, write out the business you need to be in. Okay? Super important stuff. I really hope that you guys got a lot of information from this and it changed your perspective on that question of what do you do? And I hope the next time you get asked that question, you're not answering it as I'm a physical therapist, and you're answering it with more detail that's outcome oriented for your ideal client. Hey, if you guys like this stuff, please subscribe to our Student Physical Therapist YouTube page. Check us out on the Student Physical Therapist website, where we have different knowledge tracks, whether it's financial freedom, professional growth and development, and even clinical mastery. There's more videos on this to help educate you guys so you guys can start to figure out what area that you want to grow the most with. If you guys have questions, please reach out to us, add comments to some of these videos on YouTube, and engage with us so that we can help you more. I appreciate you guys watching this. Have a great day.